everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. I think it's been about 2 months, and let me explain why. I have filmed actually a lot of videos, and I got rid of all of them. I got rid of a video that talks about your TBR. I got rid of my February wrap up. I got rid of a weekend vlog that just descended into chaos by the end of it. And I just got rid of a few other videos in between that I just was not happy with any of them. I was not satisfied with them. They weren't good. I have no trouble listening to myself talk, which probably isn't a good personality trait to have. But when I was rewatching those videos, I was just like, just be quiet. Like, what are you talking about? You know, it's talking where you just talk, and you're not saying anything. So I just got rid of everything, There's no point on releasing those videos. Some of them I'll try and redo them, try to find a better angle at which I can present the information that I was presenting. But it was not, those were bad, just not good. So this is my February and March wrap up, and you also see why, because I have been reading. I just haven't been reading what you probably think I have been reading. So let me show you what I'm in the middle of, or what were my projects and that I haven't been able to continue with them. So let me show you that first. So when I finished my my January read, the 20 Years Later by Alexandre Dumas, that book was a book that I was actually reading both on physical copy and PDF copy. Basically, when I read PDF copies, I always have a book on PDF at work on my computer, because I'm in the lab all day. And so basically I have two computers at work. I have my computer in the lab, and then I have my desk outside of the lab. And there's only certain work I can do on both. And so the PDF is for when I'm in the lab, where there's enough time between stuff I'm doing to be able to get a page or two, but not enough time to go to the other desk to do the work that I could be doing on that desk, basically. So when there's a slight lull at work, I open up my PDF and I read a page or two, and it's actually a really good way to get a whole book. That's how I read Anna Karenina last year. That's how I read Treasure Island last year, etc., etc. Now, January's read, I was so enthralled by Dumas, and then because the French copy is very easy to hold, I read it both physically and PDF. But just to say that once I finished that book, for the next PDF that I chose was Middlemarch by George Eliot. So this is my current at work, when there's a lull, I read a page or two type book for Middlemarch. I started this at the very, very end of February, the last week of February. And now I am currently on the physical copy. I'm currently on page 509 out of about 830 pages. So I am more than halfway through the book, and I'm loving this. I'm really enjoying this. And I just came up a few days ago about how I wanted to present this book on BookTube. So I am going to work on that. But I think I came to the conclusion that I think it's a shame that we read these, for BookTube, for those of us who read content, we read these really, really big books, and then we only end up discussing them for 5 minutes. So I wanted to find a better way to break this down and be able to present the book that, deserves to be presented, basically. So I'll be having videos on that, hopefully starting to come out soon. But yeah, so I'm more than halfway through Middlemarch at work. Whether I can finish it in the month of April is debatable. It is 300 pages left, and it just depends on how busy we are. If it gets to be really, really busy, I won't be able to read a single page at work. If the pace slows down, I'll be able to read a lot. It really, really just depends. I'm thinking May timeline is more reasonable at expectation, but really enjoying this, etc. So that's where I am with that. So that's one book that I've actually been making amazing progress. Then, and back in February, because I was reading so many long books, which is fine, that's actually really what I'm in the mood for. I really just want to read long books, some just like almost like classic books, just books that I know are going to be well written and well presented and that were well vetted. Lately, I've been kind of tired of a lot of contemporary works always being like the middle range kind of mark, like not bad, but like not extraordinary either. Just kind of like, I'm happy to read them, but they're not going to change my life, or they're not going to make me think about the book more than just the period of which I'm reading them. So I've really been into long books. But obviously for BookTube, only reading long books can be troublesome because it makes it hard to present videos. Now, I'm not the type of content creator who reads books to create videos. I'm the type of content creator who creates videos based on the books that I read. But I still want to have something to talk about. I still enjoy that aspect. So I did pick up a short book, and that was Trouble with Lichen by John Wyndham. Now, I really like John Wyndham. I've read a few of his books now and really, really absolutely love them. But this one, let me tell you how I feel about this book. I have 10 pages left on this 230-page book, and it's taken me 2 months to not read those last 10 pages. So that's where I'm at with this. So hopefully I'll finally read the last 10 pages because I still want to know how this ends, because I can't really see how it does it. I can't really come up with an idea of how this ends. So I am still curious to see how this ends, but I just need to read the last 10 pages. So hopefully, I should just do this tonight. I should just whip this out tonight, Sunday night, just whip it out and get it done. Because 2 chapters left. Come on, 2 chapters, 10 pages left. This is ridiculous. So hopefully I'll have this to present to you guys in the month of April for that wrap, because it's just ridiculous that I haven't gotten to that. Then the other long book that I've been working on, or had been working on, and then I just put it aside because I got distracted by what's here, which I'll show you in a bit. But the other book I was working on until I was no longer working on it was the nonfiction of At Dawn We Slept, The Untold Story of Pearl Harbor by Gordon W. Prange. This is fantastic. I've actually read the beginning of this once before. I actually kind of left off at the exact same spot. The time I tried reading this before, and right now I'm on page exactly 200. So I'm exactly where I left off the first time around. And the issue is the same issue I had last time, where this book is very heavy. It's very, although it's floppy, I love how easy this is to read. But it's very heavy, it's very big. It's not a book I can carry. There's no PDF version of this that I can easily access. So I'm required to read this at home. And I've had a really weird sleep schedule these past 2 months because I've been drinking caffeine. I'm not supposed to drink caffeine because I'm very sensitive to it. It just destroys my sleep schedule. So this got put aside because the only time I can read this is at home, which means the only time I can read this is right before I go to bed, and I've just been way too tired. So this was put aside. So I'm on page 200 out of 750 readable pages, but this is so fascinating. I still want to read it. I need to get back to it. So hopefully I'll be back in the mindset. Right now I've been drinking only water for like the past week or so to reset my schedule, my rhythm, body rhythm, and everything like that. So that's where I was before everything fell apart. Now, let me show you what I have been reading, because let me give you a clue maybe. It's right here. It's like this much below the camera angle. So imagine my body, I'm sitting down. What could be this tall that I've been reading in the meantime instead of all the other stuff? Well, basically what happened is I went skiing in February. I went on my annual ski trip in February, and I needed something lighthearted to read, easy, something that I could pick up, especially when I came back from skiing, when I'd be a little bit tired and things like that. And then I wanted to read something in Japanese, and so I started reading this, and then I got carried away and I started reading only this. So let me show you and this is not everything. This is the part that I read in March. So this is what I've read in March. This is the only thing I've read in March, other than Middlemarch at work. So I've read March. I read volumes 9 through 29, and I'll probably finish volume 30 tonight. In the month of March, of the manga Captain Tsubasa, and I read volumes obviously 1 through 8 in February. So I got a little carried away. This is a 37 volume soccer manga series. Very classic, one of the major soccer manga, the soccer manga. I mean, there were soccer manga before this, but this was the soccer manga that started everything, that what became the worldwide global phenomenon, especially in France and all the Spanish-speaking countries in particular. But it's just a classic soccer manga. It's fun, and I mean, I'm a soccer manga aficionado, but yeah, this is just the big soccer manga that started in the 80s. And then, of course, if you've been following my channel, and you should know that I love anything that came out in the 80s when it comes to manga. I think it's one of the best eras of manga. I just think it was fascinating. 80s and 90s were kind of the best. But I guess we always say that about the stuff that came out when we grew up, that it was the best time for everything. So I mean, obviously, probably just being biased. But yeah, I've been reading Captain Tsubasa, and this has been really, really fun. It is incredibly hokey. It's so much different from all the soccer manga I've read before. And I someday, eventually, I'll have to, I will do a comparison of all the soccer manga I've read and discuss it. But yeah, I'm just having fun with this. I will finish the series probably beginning of April, because right now I'm at the pace where I just read 1 volume a day. I mean, I read like 3/4 of it during my lunch break, and then I usually finish it when I'm at home that evening, and then start the next volume. So yeah, I've been reading about 1 of these a day, and I only have volume 30 I'll finish tonight, which leaves me 7 volumes to read in the month of April. So that'll be done very, very quickly. So that's really all I have been reading this entire time. But yeah, I've had good times. If you've noticed, I'm wearing a t-shirt, which is good because it's been so cold this year in Japan. The cherry blossoms are 2 weeks late. Nothing is blooming right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's really, really crazy. This is the first weekend that we can finally wear a t-shirt, and it's crazy warm now. It's like we were all wearing sweaters and jackets up until like basically Friday, because it's been super raining, super windy, super cold. Spring has been not wanting to come here, and this weekend it's 27 degrees Celsius. It's like basically almost summer weather. So it's really, really crazy. But I am so happy to wear a t-shirt. I'm so happy that my windows are open. Finally, some fresh air. It is going to start raining again this week, which is very, very frustrating. But the thing about spring is, for me, spring is one of my least, it's like my disliked season in Japan, because you're anticipating flowers and pretty cherry blossoms, and you're imagining yourself having picnics under the trees and with friends, and wearing cute outfits. But no, it's always cold, rainy, windy. It'll give you like 2 nice days of sun, and then it brings you right back to the cold, and you're trying to have a picnic under the cherry blossoms, but you can't eat because the wind is so strong. It's just a disaster. So I always look forward to cherry blossoms, but I always look almost more forward to when they lose all their petals, because that's when the weather finally stabilizes. And then we actually have really good weather until the rainy season starts in June. I really don't like the weather in Japan. Have I ever mentioned that? So yeah, that's what I've been at. I mean, I've done some fun stuff. I went skiing in February. I really did a very fun escape rope type thing, metro game that takes all day with a friend. I went to go see Dune 2, which was fantastic. Yesterday, my friend and I went on the hunt for all the new Sailor Moon manhole covers that just started, that were just put in place at the end of March in the Minatoku in Tokyo, and that was really fun. So definitely check that out if you're in Japan. Those manhole covers are permanent, so they'll be here. Yeah, so I just been up to some really, really good stuff. Not really so much reading other than the manga. But I've been really enjoying myself. So what I would like to do here on out, I have a video I want to talk about like TBR piles. I just haven't really figured out the right angle. I tried filming it once, but if it sounded like the way I sounded was just awful. It sounded like I was like blaming the viewer for not having a good good TBR pile. It's really, really weird. I didn't like it. It was just it just felt a little condescending, a little like mightier than thou. The information was poorly presented. I don't know. So I want to redo that video. I want to do my little Middlemarch videos. And yeah, like I there are things I want to do. I have the ideas. I just haven't been able to do them very well. So we'll see what happens. In the meantime, I'm going to keep reading Captain Tsubasa. I'm going to finish Captain Tsubasa. The idea, I don't know, I do tend to change my mind on these things, but the idea after reading Captain Tsubasa, I might take a little break, read a few and catch up on maybe Gokushufudo. I have 2 of the newer volumes that I haven't read yet, and then that way I'll be caught up with the series again, which is always good. But the idea is I would like to start reading Dragon Ball, the manga series. It was a series that was gifted to me by my friends, either 2 birthdays ago or 2 Christmases ago. I forget which one it was. And if some of you guys are aware, the mangaka, the artist who created Dragon Ball, passed away just last month, which was really, really big news because he, again, like Captain Tsubasa, as well, like France and all the Spanish-speaking countries, whatnot, Dragon Ball was this huge, major influence to everyone. And yeah, so there were a lot of tributes to him. And so it would be really great, I think, to read the manga finally. I always watched the anime when I was young, but I haven't read the manga yet. So I thought that would be a pretty good idea. And again, since I'm into really long books right now, really long series right now, I think I should just use that momentum and take this as a great opportunity to read that. So that's the idea. We'll see how it goes, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching and for being patient for this video to come out. Bye.